The airwaves were buzzing. The day had arrived when one of America's most outspoken liberal TV hosts, Kate Matthews, would step onto the stage to discuss the most divisive figure in modern politics, President Donald Trump. Known for her sharp tongue, fiery debates, and progressive views, Kate had never been one to mince words. But tonight, something felt different. This wasn't just another political segment. This was the segment, the one where she would share her thoughts on Trump's latest announcement, his bold new plans for a potential second term. His promises of economic reform, foreign policy shifts, and a return to America First were on the table once again. But Kate was about to deliver a monologue that no one was expecting. The show's producers were nervous. Her team had prepped for hours, but deep down, everyone knew this would be more than just a political take. Kate had a knack for turning any issue into something personal, and this was going to be no different. As the camera rolled, Kate sat at her desk, her usual fiery confidence replaced by something more somber. The audience, usually so used to her biting commentary, leaned in as the scene was set for what would surely be a viral moment. The lights dimmed slightly as Kate Matthews, with a stack of papers in front of her, gazed at the camera. Her eyes were steady, but there was a weight behind them that her audience hadn't seen before. For the first time in her career, she wasn't ready with a punchline, a snarky remark, or an outright condemnation. "Kate, tonight, we're talking about Donald Trump. Again." She paused, letting the words hang in the air. A slight nervous chuckle from the audience broke the silence, but Kate's face remained solemn. She wasn't going to make jokes about the president tonight. No, this was serious. "Kate, Trump's back with his grand plans, and this time, it's bigger than before. He says that if elected again, he'll usher in a new era of prosperity, power, and global influence." Sound familiar? There was a moment of laughter from the audience, but Kate wasn't smiling. Instead, she looked down at her notes for a beat. "Kate, now, we've all heard these promises before. Make America great again, take back our country, drain the swamp. It's a catchy slogan, right? But beneath all the slogans, the one thing I find most concerning, and here's where I'm going to surprise you, isn't what he says but what he's offering to do." She leans forward, the weight of the words pressing heavily on her. "Kate, Trump has always been a figure of extremes. You either love him or you hate him, there's no in-between. But when I saw the specifics of his plan, something strange happened. I wasn't just angry. I was concerned. Because no matter how much I disagree with him on policies, this time, I think there's something worth considering in what he's proposing. And no, that's not me endorsing him." The room was still. The audience was unsure of where Kate was going with this. Was she about to flip? Was she going soft? "Kate, his plan for America's economy is rooted in a philosophy I've criticized for years, but I can't ignore the fact that some of what he says is a critique of the very system I've spent my career fighting to improve. The elite class, the corrupt politicians, the unyielding bureaucracies that keep the working class down. It's hard to deny that there's a truth in that." She was pacing now, her hands moving, as if struggling to capture the full weight of her thoughts. "Kate, but here's where it gets tricky. His solution is pure chaos. It's like he's taking a wrecking ball to everything: government programs, trade deals, climate agreements. And even though I stand for progressive values, I can't help but wonder, after seeing the incompetence of our own leaders, how different is he, really? How different is the establishment that I championed for so long from the one he criticizes?" The audience stirred. Was Kate questioning her own position? Was she about to endorse Trump? "Kate, and this is where my liberal heart wants to scream at you all, don't buy it. Don't buy the idea that chaos is the only solution. The path Trump proposes is not reform, it's anarchy in the guise of freedom. It's not a fight for the people, it's a battle for control." Kate stopped pacing and stared into the camera, her voice steady and fierce. "Kate, but here's the twist, folks. Maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't just Trump. Maybe the problem is that we've been asleep at the wheel for so long that it's created an opening for someone like him to take center stage. And that, my friends, is where I think we've gone wrong." The audience was visibly perplexed now. No one expected this angle. Kate Matthews, the liberal TV host, just presented a question that left everyone wondering. Had she been too harsh on the establishment? Was she really endorsing Trump in disguise? "Kate, I want to be clear. I am not endorsing Donald Trump. I'm not saying his policies are right or that I agree with the way he approaches anything. What I am saying is that we need to wake up. We need to face the fact that both sides are playing this game of extremes, and at the end of the day, we're the ones paying the price. The tension in the studio had shifted. Kate's voice softened, as if trying to make one last point before the cameras went dark. Kate, I don't want another 4 years of Trump. But I also don't want another 4 years of politicians who promise us change and then deliver nothing. The real question isn't about Trump or Biden or whoever's next. It's about what kind of country we're willing to settle for. The audience, now fully absorbed in Kate's monologue, was on the edge of their seats. It was as if they were waiting for her to say what they all knew was coming, that she would call out the establishment, that she would rally behind a new candidate, or that she would deliver a show-stopping zinger. But then Kate stunned everyone with her final words. Kate. And that's why, after much reflection and discussions with colleagues and friends, I'm going to do something no one expected. On Election Day, I'm going to vote for the candidate who offers true change, who challenges the establishment and stands up to corporate greed, even if that means voting for someone I fundamentally disagree with. Yes, that includes Trump. Because if we keep playing it safe, we'll keep getting the same result. The shock in the studio was palpable. The camera zoomed in on Kate's face. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't joking. For the first time in her career, she had broken the unwritten rule of liberal media. You never support Trump. The Twitter storm erupted instantly. Everyone from conservative pundits to her own liberal followers were in a frenzy, trying to figure out what had just happened. Kate, you'll call me crazy. You'll call me reckless. But the only way forward is to break free from this cycle of comfort. It's time we stop playing the game the way it's been played and start fighting for something real. The media frenzy was relentless. Kate Matthews, the liberal TV host who had spent years dismantling every argument Trump made, had just suggested that she might, in some twisted way, support his message for true reform. The twist wasn't in the message itself, but in the way she dared to step outside the lines, challenging her audience to think deeper, to question the system, and to confront the bitter truth that sometimes, no matter how much we dislike someone, the system they fight against might just be more broken than we realize. Kate's final words resonated for weeks. We're all part of the same flawed system, and unless we take a hard look at it from every angle, we're never going to change it. It was a political shockwave that would echo long after the cameras stopped rolling. And, as many of her fans would admit months later, maybe, just maybe, she was right.